Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, you guys, I just want to show you guys how I do my clients' nails on the daily. So when I have a client and they need a soak off and they're getting a new set, we're gonna basically just take off the soak off little wraps. So I had already proceeded to apply the wraps and everything, so they've been soaking for about 10 minutes. So that's when I like to go ahead with my little cuticle pusher and start pushing off all of that acrylic that's already coming off. And with the 80/80 grit file, I just start removing the rest as much as I can, but not trying to be too abrasive, because I can take my fine sanding band, which you will see me, to remove the entire red part off the acrylic that's still on there. Now I'm basically just removing this because she does want to get a very light color, and you can't really do a fill on something as dark as red, so that's why we had to take the whole thing off. So yeah, so then I take the 80/80 file and we just kind of straighten and shape up the free edge of her natural nails, and that way they look a little bit more clean before we apply the tips. All right, you guys, so I am pushing back all her cuticles. I am just using this cuticle pusher, and I don't remember where I got it, but you can literally get them on Amazon. You can get them at your local grocery store even, to be honest. You can find them at the Dollar Tree. I think they have them. I've gotten some from there. So yeah. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take the sanding band, and the sanding band is basically to remove the shine off the natural nail. We did kind of already take the other nail file and kind of already went over it a little bit since we were removing the red, but we do have to make sure we go around underneath that cuticle area just in case there's any new cuticle growth under there, and that's really important so that it prevents the lifting. So we do want to go under there, kind of like you're going underneath the skin to remove it, because what happens is the cuticle actually grows underneath the eponychium. So the cuticle is literally the dead skin that you would think it's like the dry cuticle basically. So now we're gonna go ahead and add the tips, and the tips that I'm using are these. They look like they're like stiletto, but if you cut them like at a certain, oh sorry, I got a notification, but if you cut them at a certain length, you guys, then they look more like they're easier to form into a coffin basically. And I like the, I guess, flatness of them so that they're not curving, and it makes the coffin look straighter and more, I don't know, I think it looks more uniform for a coffin, and it also helps for a stiletto. Now this specific client here likes her pointer to be pointy basically. She likes her pointer to be a stiletto and the rest to stay a coffin. So how I'm actually adding the tips and placing them here and adhering them is basically with KDS glue. KDS glue is my favorite nail glue, and it's really my favorite because it adheres super quick on the natural nail. So as you can see, I like to add the tips backwards. So I take their hand and place it backwards. I size it when it's, you know, regular facing me, but when I'm actually going to apply them with the actual glue, I like to turn them around to see their view, because my view will probably trick my eyes and make it seem like they're straight when they're not. So what we like to do is turn them around like this, add the glue to the little well of the nail, and then place it while her hand is backwards, and you're gonna get a more straighter nail, especially when you have clients with like semi slanted crooked finger, which a lot of people have. It's very normal. My clients laugh when I say like, oh, your pinky's crooked, or your pointer's crooked, or your middle's crooked, and then I think they feel like they're weird. I'm like, no, trust me, everybody got that one crooked nail or one crooked finger. You could fix a crooked finger by just straining it out a little bit, going, you know, putting the hand backward, and you can fix it. For this one, I had to kind of cut it. I don't know if you can tell, when I was placing it, I had to cut some of the well off because it was going to cover it too much. So we had to do Alright guys, so pay attention to this part right here. I applied the nail backwards, and I guess I did it crooked. Even though I did it backwards, I don't know if the glue basically adhered it too quickly, where it didn't give me a chance to kind of put it where I actually wanted it. So you got to be super careful if the glue is drying super quick. But it's an easy fix. Don't worry about it. Don't leave it crooked. You are going to ruin your day and your client's day. All you got to do is cut it like you saw me, and then you don't have to do this part, but I kind of like to buff it a little bit and take the shine off, and then just go ahead and soak it off, and then move on to your next one. And then when you're done with your next one, you can go ahead and take that little piece off from the pointer. So as you can see here, I'm measuring for the thumb, and remember, the other hand I had to kind of cut it, so I am doing it off camera. I'm so sorry. I'll try to do it on camera next time on another client, but I am just cutting a little bit of the whale. See, you can tell where I cut it, so that more of her natural nail is showing. The more natural nail that's showing when you're applying the acrylic, the better. The more acrylic that's on the actual natural nail, the better is it adherence? Is that a proper word? Well, the better the how do I say that? The better adherence? The better application? No, that's not wrong. Dang, I can't even think about it. But anyway, let's move on. I was trying to say basically, so, well, first let me explain this part. I'm taking off the rest of this tip right here so that I can apply the new one. So I'm applying the new one. And I'm going to reverse her hand so you guys can see. I'm going to be more careful when I'm applying this tip. But anyway, I was trying to say, like, the more natural nail exposed, and it's like basically it's more room for more acrylic. So if you don't have too much space for the acrylic, I feel like the natural nails don't last. I mean, the acrylic set doesn't last. So here you can see me taking this form that my coworker made for me at the nail salon when I was working there. So I appreciate that she did this. This thing has helped me so much, because all you have to do is put it under and say to the client, what number do you think will work for you? And this has saved me so much time for a lot of reasons. And then they'll just say, oh, number 3 or number 4, or number 2 or number 1. And I'll just be like, okay, so now I know that every single nail is going to be a number such and such, except for her pointer. Her pointer, she likes it longer, so that was a different number. But I did ask her for her pointer too. I'm like, do you want it longer? She usually does, so I know to ask her which number do you want it for the pointer, and then I know how to do it for each other nail. So I can't see from how I'm editing on my phone, but I'll probably be able to see it on my computer. But she picked, I don't know what number, I can't even see. Is that 4? I think it's 4 or 3. I can't see it. So she told me her number, so I made it quicker for me. And all I gotta do is kind of like even the free edge inside out to make them coffin. So we're just trying to coffin it up basically. And this is gonna help us save us some time for after we apply the acrylic. You want to apply the acrylic on the nail that, or the shape that they're getting. So if they're getting a stiletto, you're going to do the stiletto shape first, and then you're going to apply the acrylic, because that is what's going to save you some time. I don't know who would ever apply the acrylic and then shape them up. That's way too much time, and it's like you're working backwards basically. I know it's common sense for a lot of us nail techs, but I'm just saying, if you don't really do nails like that and you're trying to, that's just a big tip. It may be common sense for us, but you never know. Like, a lot of things didn't make sense to me when I started. So okay, so then I like to reverse and make sure that they are flat when I rewind when I reverse her hand. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see, I am going at an angle to make sure that I am creating the coffin shape. If you wanted more of a square, you don't want to angle the file way too much, but keeping it at this angle really does help basically make the coffin shape. I don't know how to explain the degrees. I know that some people use those terms, so I need to like figure that out so I can explain better, but I don't know. If you guys know the degrees, let me know in the comments down below, because I would not know how to explain that. People are like, do this at a 90-degree angle, and I'm just like, what? I guess with a 90-degree angle, that would be like if you want a square nail. But we'll get into that some other time. Let's just continue with this video. All I'm saying is, if you don't want to round up your coffin, for sure, try to do it at a 90-degree angle when you're doing the sides right here. You don't want it, see how it's like more straight up and down? It's not curved too much. I know it doesn't make sense right now a lot. This one's a stiletto, but I know a lot of that doesn't make sense right now if you're a beginner, because it didn't make sense to me for the longest time. Until now, I think I'm more like, oh, I get it. You gotta hold the file at a certain angle so that you don't curve your coffin and it looks like a weird like curved coffin, because then it doesn't look like a coffin. It looks more like an oval rounded nail. So you want to make sure you pay attention to how you're filing your nails, basically. So here we're actually just blending the tips, and this is just I think it's medium. Oh, this is a medium sanding mat. I don't know why I've been thinking these are fine, because I do have both. I do use both. It doesn't really matter to me. I do prefer medium, but sometimes I will be using fine sanding bands in my videos. It really depends on what I have in hand, but for my preference, honestly, I love a medium sanding band to prep the nail and to blend the tips. So I like to blend the tips to make it look all evened out. You gotta blend it right here in the middle to make sure that the nail's evened out, so you have a nice even application. So now that we blended the tips, we're gonna go in with our Young Nails primer, you guys, and this is going to adhere the acrylic to the natural nail. And the protein bond is actually like a double tape. It actually doesn't it's not like the acid-based primers where it makes holes in your nails so that the acrylic can seep into those holes. So I know that sounds really graphic, but that is why people's nail beds actually get damaged a lot, because of the fact that, you know, you're ripping them off and there's the acid primer's already making holes in your nails, and then you're ripping them off, making it worse. But yeah, that's why I love Young Nails primer. It's very, very safe to use, and it's actually one of the best on the market. So if you're looking for a primer, I do highly suggest the Young Nails protein bond. So now, as you can see, this is actually my acrylic. You guys know that I came out with my acrylic, at least the people that follow me on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen that I have already announced that I have all my acrylics here. So if you guys want to see a swatch video of all my colors, let me know in the comments down below. I will be doing giveaways on my acrylics, you guys, so get excited. I can't wait to show you guys. I really do want to do a swatch video so you see all the colors that I do have. So yeah, this is just my Milky White. I think I called soft white. So my soft white, I definitely wanted a soft white in my collection, and I love this one, so I'm super happy with it. So my client did want some glitter effect, and you do see me adding some from another acrylic, and I want to say that acrylic that I'm using is Vanessa Nails. I don't remember 100%, but I think that's what it is. Because I actually bought this from somebody else. Actually, they had sold me like a bunch of acrylics. It was actually somebody that owned an acrylic line as well, but this isn't her acrylic. She was selling me, I think, some of her acrylics, Anaya acrylics, and then she had a bunch of other ones that she just sold me in bulk. She was like getting rid of, so I was like, oh, I'll take it. I love the colors that she had, so I thought it was a good deal. So that's what I'm using, because the acrylic is actually just glitter and clear, basically. So that's actually what she wanted, so made it easy. All you have to do is improvise sometimes. She wanted a Milky White with glitter, so all we got to do is add Milky White and something with glitter. That's the best way to do things sometimes. Just because you don't have a color doesn't mean you can't create the actual nail design they want. This is a super simple way to fix or make and improvise, but there's other things. Like, I had my client come in today, this other client, and she actually wanted a certain mint green that I didn't really have. So I was like, look, this is only just two colors, green and white, and we can make that very light minty green you like. So she was down and made it. She loved it, and I was like, there you go, improvise. So yeah, a lot of the girls at the salon, you guys, were like, I think were like weirded out in the beginning that I was always mixing stuff, mixing colors, glitters, everything. And they were like, I don't got time for that. And then eventually, even before I left, they started doing it. And they were like, oh, okay, it's not that hard to do it, and it's not that tedious. They thought it was tedious, and it's not. Literally, if you know your color wheel, you know what goes together, you know what you can add to make the color that your client wants. So you could do that with acrylic, and you can do that with gels. But yeah, we are just adding my color soft white to her nail with the tip and everything. I'm still thinking of the names and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll keep them with the numbers that they're under I can't talk. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the numbers that the manufacturers put on them, or if I'm gonna actually change the names. So we shall see. I really want to name them, but then I'm like, dang, that's a lot of colors I gotta name. So I gotta figure that out. But you know what? I might come out with a collection at a time to make things a lot easier, though, because I feel like it just makes sense, actually, to be honest. That's actually a great idea. I just came up with that right here talking to you guys. Okay, I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna come out with a collection first to like not overwhelm myself, I guess you can say. And I don't know, I think it'll be a great idea that way. But yeah, so I'm almost done with the application. I'm already working on her second hand, and I did get a new brush, you guys. This is a number 10. This is a number 10, and this is actually a D&D brush. I actually bought this at a local nail supply store that I went to for the first time, that I didn't know of. I actually went because I like this brush. I went to a nail class to perfect my craft. I learned a lot of new things that I feel like I wasn't doing before. And I learned that I actually knew a lot. So I was like, okay, so I just have to perfect this and that. And I was like, yay. So I realized that I feel better working with this size brush right here. So I went down from my number, what did I have, a 16? Yeah, and then now I'm using this number 10. I might go to a number 12, but that's probably the biggest I'll go. I also have a number 20 brush, and I'm just like, no. I was using that for a while too, and I'm just like, that never made sense. Why did I use a number 20? Oh my goodness. Some people swear by using a bigger brush, but no. I think I'm good with the number 10. I think honestly it's the last generation of nail techs that really used that. I don't know, I could be wrong. Let me know what size brush you guys prefer in the comments down below, but I think a number 12 is my set brush number that I prefer. So here you see me encapsulating, you guys. I'm just using Coupa clear to encapsulate, and that way the nail has more structure. A lot of colored acrylics, you guys, do not have a lot of structure for the nail to be strong enough, so you really do have to adhere it with some clear. The clear is going to cover and protect the design as well as give it strength. So you see me just adding the clear, and I'm making sure that from different angles it is evened out. So yeah, I also would like to know if you guys are interested in hearing the salon experience that I had before I left the salon. It just, I don't know, it got overwhelming in so many different situations, and I felt like, wow, I really had it good when I was at home doing nails. Like, I'm very happy being back home in my element, having the extra time in between to work on these videos, not so tired from, I guess, just being out and about. So I really appreciate just the home-based nail tech lifestyle. Okay, so now we're taking our 8080 grit file, and these files I actually got on Amazon. They are PANA. I thought I didn't like them in the beginning, but I actually really like them. I feel like they make my work a lot more crisp and straighter and cleaner. I don't know, and it's like very strong. I feel it's very strong, so I feel like I don't have to file way too much. So I'm filing the sides. I am going super at an angle to go underneath, but then I go back into keeping my file straight to make sure that I don't curve the coffin. And I also kind of touch up on the free edge, but then I like to finish the free edge when I'm done filing the sides. So now you can see me finishing off the free edge. I like to turn your hand around to make sure it's even. So I take my file and kind of like finish file it, go back and forth, and kind of figure, you know, you'll figure out how to make your job easier when you're finished filing. With the stiletto, it's super easy. You just go at an angle, go underneath, and clean it up really well. Sharpen it up as much as you can, or as little as the client wants. Okay, so one of my favorite parts in the process is finishing off with my carbide bit. So the carbide bit at the end is going to help you smooth out the surface, and you're gonna go underneath the nail, and you're gonna go around the cuticle area as well. So I like to take my drill bit in my, what is it? I was gonna call it a Koopa, but it's a Mani Pro Koopa drill. So I like to take my Mani Pro Koopa drill. Sorry you guys, it's so late and I'm over here doing this voiceover. So I like to take my Mani Pro drill, take my, I think it's a, yeah, this one's a fine drill bit. So we're gonna go around the cuticle area, go underneath the free edge and side to side on the nails, and then I like to go up and down to smooth it out all the way. So you're gonna take it, go around, be very gentle, and kind of try to seal that cuticle. Make sure there's no acrylic touching the skin, and that you can see a little gap between your skin and the nail. So now we're gonna do the other hand. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take the buffer, go underneath the nail. You're gonna go on top of the nail, and this is going to smooth it out all the way. The great thing about the bit that I was using, it was actually a PANA fine carbide bit, and it's so smooth. It kind of is like a buffer, but this is definitely a final buff that you're actually giving it. So now that we buffed it, we're gonna go ahead with our alcohol and take a napkin and kind of clean it up right here. And you are going to take whatever gel top coat you like. This one in particular, I believe, is Madame Glam's No Wipe. And this is actually one of my favorites. If it isn't my favorite, I think it is my favorite. This one's my number one at the moment. So after this, you're just going to put the nails into the lamp for 1 minute and let them cure. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the cuticle oil, and I'm just going to spread it around, get into those cuticles underneath the eponychium. I'm sorry, the hyponychium. Underneath is a hyponychium. So eponychium and hyponychium. So your cuticles, which is your eponychium area, and underneath. And this one is, I believe, the mango scent. This will be on my website pretty soon, you guys. So look out for the website. I will try to work on it ASAP so that you guys can try out and buy the acrylics and everything else that will be on there. I'm probably gonna start adding some nail art and things like that. Yep, so that is all, you guys. If you are new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you have been here before and aren't subscribed, what are you guys waiting for? Help your girl out, subscribe, hit the post notification bell button, you guys, so that every time I upload, you will be notified that I have uploaded a video on YouTube. And if you guys do have any video ideas, let me know in the comments down below as well. I want to cater to you guys as much as I can. I did add some lotion, if you guys can see. So she's all done, and I can't wait for you guys to see the finished product. You guys, it's so late and I'm so tired. So I just wanted to get this video up for you guys so that you guys can enjoy it and learn a thing or two. I love you guys so much. Leave me a comment, you guys. I miss talking to you guys. Bye bye. God bless.